granted.
Damn. Talk about turning up late during your funeral. Jeez. Sorry, folks. I overcompensated from yesterday, I guess. I didn't wake up super early, but I was like, I've got enough time to have coffee for sure. And then I was like, yeah, I can do a second one. I can do a second one. It's slowing me down. I don't know. I feel a bit slightly jank. I don't know what's going on with my under my my right tit. It's been on and off for a couple of weeks. I couldn't work out like a couple of weeks ago because of it. It feels like it's pulled something, but then it's like that for like a day, and then it's fine. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Atheline, you absolutely first. Wasting no time whatsoever. Sean, how you doing, my dear? So yeah, I apologise for the delayed start today, but I'm sure I will... we will, and I certainly will endeavour to make up for it. I'll certainly try to. Anyway, God, it's too nice over here. It's almost too nice at the minute. But what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do? Is there anything going on in the world that has changed since yesterday? I've no idea. Oh, Squid showed off showed me this what do you call it? What you'd be calling it? The In Memoriam, is that what it's called? The playable remake demo of Final Fantasy IX made by obviously very, very passionate, talented programmers and artists who, you know, obviously, you know, put a lot of work into it, which it looks incredible. But the fact that it's not the whole game, and the, you know, obviously, and the fact that, you know, you can't actually play it. They're like, hey, look at this playable demo. We'll play the demo. You'll just watch. It's like, yeah, don't get me started on that, Af. Don't get me started on that. We'll just, I feel like I need to run a interesting quiz, and it seems very appropriate. We shall find out in a minute. Yeah, I feel like I need to like a whole division of content. I need like a second channel, a second stream to discuss all that kind of stuff, Af. But you know, that's, you know, I'm committed to this, and you know, you guys have been massive support. Yeah. And some of you may want to hear me rant about, you know, the Illuminati and the New World Order, but some of you are like, yeah, that's not That's not what we're here for, is. So please, we don't want to hear about all that. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to give people their money's worth. But anyway, what is this? What quiz from Evelyn? What type of lesbian are you? I've often wondered this. Af, what type of lesbian I am. This is something that I've often thought. Yes, it's not a serious quiz from a couple of years ago. What type of lesbian are you? I don't mean to generalise. I just want to have fun and be gay. And, who doesn't? So yeah, we shall get on that momentarily and find out, and feel free to do it along with us, folks. If you want to find out, I am eager to find out what type, Some of you may know this. I'm not, in fact, a lesbian, but I have often wondered, if I were, what type would I be? You already took it to make some appropriate for twisting. Yeah, because it could be like, what it could be like very specific, honing on very, very specific lesbian activities, if you know what I'm saying. And that might, so thank you, F, for checking that. Not that I would be upset if you hadn't, and it just occurred in the quiz. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes, of course, obviously. Did you get? Did your result make sense to you, and do you agree with it? Sometimes we do these quizzes, and I'm like, oh my god, it's studied the intrinsic depths of my very soul. Good job, quiz. And then other times we're like, what? This doesn't make sense. Okay, there we go. Excellent. That seems appropriate. There we go. But guys, I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. Again, apologies for the delay. I don't think there's anything else I need to address. So let me just have a look at this. Yeah, nothing I want to get into. There seems to be some kind of pushback or outrage about the change in the Twitch terms of service, which, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's really changed is you cannot simulcast at the same time, which I always thought that was against the terms of service anyway. But even if it isn't, why you would want to do that, I don't know. Imagine if we're live on Twitch and also live on YouTube and also live wherever else. So you're not trying to build a community then, are you? You just want more eyeballs on you. I'm like, oh yeah, Steve, yeah, good point there. And you guys are like, who's Steve? Oh, Steve's a guy who's in the YouTube chat right now. And you're like, so you've got three different, splitting your audience. You've got three different people you're speaking to at the same time. I mean, there can be instances where it would be useful. Like if you're a brand new streamer and you're like, I don't know what platform's for me. I don't have an audience. I don't have a community. Let me just give it a whirl. And then you do that, and then maybe get no response on two platforms and then a massive response on the other one. You might be like, oh, okay, let's go with this one. But to do it consistently, and unless, of course, the other end of the spectrum, you're the gigantic streamer with the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of viewers, and then you're not talking to your audience anyway. I mean, you're talking to them, you're talking at them, hopefully. But you're not actually engaging with individuals. which, you know, each to their own. But yeah, that's, you know, and it's not for me to judge, but yeah, there seem to be like people who are like, outraged by that fact. And I was like, who's actually doing that? Who actually wants to do that? Here we go. Oh, this is like a, yeah, but then aren't. But here's the thing, Sky. You say to your audience member, you're like, hey, you know, and you're like, I've got 3 different chats going. If you want to be involved in the overall conversation, you need to click on this link and go and download this piece of this app. And then it's like, I just like the idea that a rando can come to your stream and get fully involved without you asking anything else of them, apart from just to behave themselves, obviously. That's my issue. Yeah, so you as the streamer can monitor all 3 chats, easy peasy. What about the viewers though? Right? That's you know, I'm not too concerned about the logistics of it. I'm more like the vibe you're putting out there. What's this? Incoming friend request from nobody I know. Is it someone who's just joined the conflux? It is. I'll look at that, Scotty, for you. Lana Daniel, someone who's just joined the conflux, immediately sent me an incoming friend request. Goodbye. Just in case you need to yeet them out of existence. You got Dragon Ball profile pictures. That's cool, but also go away. Yeah, and that's okay. Yeah. That's. I'm not, like I say, I'm not against the idea. In the perfect world, there'd be one platform to rule them all, so you didn't have to go through jump through all these hoops. But the idea that a new person turns up, hello, how you doing? And then it becomes apparent they're like, oh, you're talking to people who, from my perception, aren't here. Oh no, they're on another platform. I'm streaming to multiple platforms right now. It's like it's almost like you come join my community, or a third of it. Right? But you know, I'm not poo-pooing the idea. I just I see it time and time again how people, they'll get they'll see something that is wrong in the world, or they'll pop off and they'll be like, this is outrageous, we're going to do this, and they've not stopped to think through all the implications and weigh up all the pros and the cons. They're like, oh, well, those people over there are outraged, so I will also be outraged. What are you outraged about? Oh, I don't know, I didn't ask them yet. But I know that's not you, certainly, Sky. But anyway, here we go. Let me pull this up. This mic sounded fuzzy as fuck. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Jeffrey is a lunatic. I think they're all lunatics, honestly. But I'm not saying it's his fault, but here we go. Let me shuffle this around. So yeah, do this along with us, Scotty. We're going to find out what type of lesbian I am. This is as pretty appropriate for the. I assume it's just going to go along like that, but for what we're covering in a minute. So it's something that I've always wanted to know. But yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm not going to bat for Twitch. You know, every day I'm like, yo, make your platform work, bruh. But we'll see what the future holds. So I don't know if there's 10 questions here. No, I don't know if you knew this, Scotty. You may not have known this. I am also not a lesbian, but I have often wondered many, many times in my life, if I were, what type would I be? Let's go. Yes. Again, the author says not to generalize. This is just to have fun and be gay. So I think it's just 10 questions. So here we go. Question 1. Where would you go on a date? Romantic dinner, a bar, or movie? Could be either. Coffee shop or picnic in the park. At home playing video games or sports. Now, you know, a lot of those sound pretty good. You know, depending on who it was and the circumstances, I could go for any of those. But if you're asking me truly what I'd want to do of all those more than 4 options, honestly, I want to play video games. Of course I do. I am a fucking nerd. But it's a date, isn't it? You're doing it with someone you are romantically involved with. Also, it's at home playing video games or sports. Hey, what do you want to do today? Let's go on a date. Oh, what should we do? Let's stay at home and play sports for our date. Is that lesbian code? I don't know what sports you play at home necessarily. Work out at home. But I don't know what are the number 1 home sports. I don't know, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I guess a lot of these answers are open to your interpretation, open to your own imagination. But of course, and it's not. I guess it's just me being in my comfort zone and also kind of lazy. If it's like a first date and you're actually trying to impress someone and have a nice time, I could definitely a picnic at the park. Then again, I'm a food fiend, so I might just be like, you know, you're trying to be romantic or like trying to impress somebody, or you know, get along with somebody, and I'm just there like, stuffing food in my face, just like, I'm like, well, we're on a picnic. This is what literally we're here to do. So maybe I don't know, coffee shop, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, maybe. But my instinct is, yeah, let's just play some video game. Yeah, you could get along with someone really well. You just sit down and play some Streets of Rage or something. I don't know. Some Mario Kart, something like that. You know, drop some innuendo. Oh, you gave me a good beating there. I don't know. That's what it's got to be, right? That's what it's got to be. What kind of girl do you find yourself most attracted to? Femmes, as in, I assume. I didn't know that was the lesbian culture terminology for, you know, more traditional feminine females, or the counts at butch lesbians, which as I've explained, I'm not really immersed in lesbian culture, but I am aware of the stereotype of the differences between different kinds of lesbians. For example, Chris. I've not spoken to her in a good while. I hope she's doing all right. Chris, who, you know, awesome person I met through G-Ray and Coptimus. I haven't seen her streaming in a good long time. But she's most assuredly a lesbian. And I'm not going to say she's butch, but also I think she is stronger than me. I don't know when I say a fight, but if me and Chris were having an arm wrestling match, don't just assume, don't make any assumptions. That's what I'm saying. I would give it my best shot, but also I think Chris would beat me. So she might fit into that category. Or saying you don't really care, either one. Like, you're open to the idea. If I were a lesbian, I guess I still have the heterosexual male brain in my lesbian body. So I guess I would go for femmes, I guess. That is the correct answer. Which sport would you participate in? Soccer, tennis, football, American football, or just running? Just running. Just gonna run. Um, what sport is actually fun to me? I don't do sports, and I never really have. I like working out, as you know. I got into general health and fitness as I got older. But there was never like, oh yeah, sport, fun. I did used to fence. That's not the picket kind, the sword kind. When I was younger, kind of between ages of maybe like 9 or 10, and maybe like 14. So I did it for a few years, and I wasn't particularly good, but I did go and like enter like competitions and stuff for kind of like for fun, and had like varying success. There's something fun about that for sure. Definitely in some small way would have contributed to my personal growth. And while have no formal martial arts training, I don't. Would you? I guess in some interpretations you could include fencing as a martial art, but I would only really consider it on the periphery. Because then where do you draw the line? Say like shooting a gun is a martial art. Shooting a bow, maybe, but that's not what we think of when we think martial arts. But I guess technically it would be other. I'd rather play table tennis than actual tennis. Does that count as a sport? I don't know. So I guess we'll go other, because none of the rest particularly appeal to me. Flying yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you're doing anything which hurts or kills people, then this is a martial art. Then yeah. Do you ever get mistaken as a dude? I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you ever look at me and go, I think Iznib might be a guy? Never. No, that's not true. Sometimes, pretty much always. Nope. Yeah, I mean, I think the honest answer is pretty much always. Some people may be like, yeah, I remember being like a little kid. Some old lady in the store was like, "Oh, let this young man or young girl go before me," and I'm like, I'm too shy and too young to say that. I guess I was a pretty boy when I was a kid. I don't know. And I definitely, and I had like longer hair and stuff. I wasn't, rocking skinhead, but so yeah, sometimes, but pretty much most people definitely think I'm a dude when I'm not. I'm just a giant lesbian, but more often than not, people just assume that I'm just a guy. So I think the honest answer is pretty much always right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Af. Yeah, if you thought I was a dude, you'd be like, I'm not showing this to this is for girls only, right? But most people. Where do you meet girls? I don't. Is the honest answer. But I have in the past, so I guess we'll use that as reference. Through friends at the mall or other common public places. Common public places. Oh yeah. What you're doing today is I'm going to the common public place to meet girls. Only if I stare at them for a good while and enjoy staring at them, Sky. So I mean, as I have not seen your boobs, I guess we have to run an experiment. We won't know until we try. Coffee shops, bars, and clubs. Yeah, I don't want to use, I don't want to be too crude about it. You know what I meant. Astronomically unlikely, but not impossible. We don't know. We don't know. But if I go back to my, I'm weird. I think it's like a combination of my tism, and maybe just life experiences, which kind of forced me in, and my own nature as well. I remember being a little kid, just being super shy. Like it was a thing; people would comment on it and stuff. The combination of all that, lack of confidence and lack of stability in my family life and such. I have literally. This might sound weird. Even in social situations when other guys are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do or say a thing to this female because I'm attracted to her, and I'm going to put the feelers out to see if she might be into me." I've literally never done that, which is silly. Probably I should have made more effort, but I've always felt awkward talking to girls because I've always felt awkward talking to other human beings, basically. So the fact that I'm like also, so it's one thing if it's a human being that you're just trying to have an interaction with, a social interaction with. It's another if it's like someone who you're like, we're good, we're friends, and it's a next level when you're like, I have the desire to be naked with you, and we touch each other and other things. It's like it's how my tism brain is like I can't even do that. So I've always been like I'm not gonna even attempt. It's like it's too much stress. It's too much stress. I'm just not. But I guess and there's so many opportunities, and even like when I haven't put any effort in. But some ladies young ladies have been like, oi, they've done the initiation. They've tried to do the conversation. They've tried to drop the hints. And I failed to understand. And then I've literally, sometimes it's weeks, months, or even years after the fact, for whatever reason, that interaction has popped into my brain. I've gone, oh shit, you fucking idiot. you know, that was like a gimme. You don't know what's going to come of it, but it was like, that was like a setup. That was like a setup. That's like somebody missing a free throw. It's like, come on, sort your life out, Iznib. However, I have had 2 girlfriends when I was much younger, and it was I met them through friends of friends. That's just the way it goes. I've not met someone out somewhere and hit it off. So yeah, I guess it's got to be through friends. Yeah, free throw. Yeah, exactly. Terrible. That's why I missed. We failed the quiz. Oh dear. I'm gonna plow on anyway. What would you normally wear out? Nice dress and lovely makeup. Not typically. I usually keep that to myself. Jeans, a t-shirt, tennis shoes, and flannel if I'm feeling really gay. Whatever I feel like. Well, obviously, that is the truth of it. I'm definitely a jeans and t-shirts kind of person, I guess. I don't. That's the kind of lesbian I am. Something really masculine. I'm still chasing that. I'm still trying to find out what that is. I definitely want to be a more masculine lesbian before this is said and done, but I'm getting a bit long in the tooth now. But surely whatever I feel like. Yeah, because I don't really care. What hairstyle would you prefer? I assume this means on me, as opposed to my preferences of other lesbians. Long, luxurious hair. Short boys cut, short hair, but not a pixie cut. Something low maintenance. Yeah, I don't have a skinhead to look cute, guys, obviously. Obviously. I have it because it is literally low maintenance. That is it. That's the only answer. I mean, what would you rather do on a daily basis with your girlfriend? Go shopping, anything that is outside, eat, watch movies, and make love. Other. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too crude about it, but the reason to have a girlfriend full stop, is, you know, that's the difference between a very good friend and a girlfriend, isn't it? You're doing the sexy times. It's business. It's business time. Right. So that's the number one thing to do. Now, you don't need to do that all the time because obviously you don't need to. You get worn out and you just like, you know, you've achieved your goal. But yeah, if we're just watching movies, and it says something else. Yeah. So you like, you know, you're doing the deed and then you're recovering with some food and rest. You can do the deed again. Yeah, it's got to be the right one, surely, for me. What do you think you are? Tomboy lesbian. Oh, okay. So it asks you what you think, and this may somewhat influence your result, I guess. Butch lesbian, lipstick femme lesbian, or chapstick chapstick lesbian. Is that like is a chapstick lesbian the knockoff lipstick lesbian? Can you translate for me? But I guess if I were a lesbian, I guess I would be the butch lesbian, I guess. It's like futch. Right. It's a cross between the two. It's somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably would be the butch lesbian, I guess. It's hard to say, isn't it? Oh, on a scale of 1 to 5, how gay are you? It's, I mean... in terms of being a lesbian, I mean... I'm not actually gay, but there's a little gay in all of us, isn't there? So I guess I'm probably only about 2. Oh, here we go. This is a phenomenal question. Let's get the results. I guess 2. There we go. Got the answer. Yeah, look, got tats and everything. There we go. You may or may not be a butch lesbian. Itolo, how you doing there? Are you well, my friend? You're a girl who's very masculine, but still identifies as a lesbian girl. You act tough, and can even often be confused for a male. You're a total sweetheart in the end. There you go. Sometimes get confused, you know, mistaken for a male, but I am a total sweetheart. You know that. You know that is true, don't you? Yeah, there we go. Boom. So I hope that answered your questions there, Af. There we go. Hey, how's it going there, Tyler? Are you well? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not even that much of a butch man, let alone a butch lesbian. Yeah, I mean, look. We probably could have guessed, right? Af, I don't know. You know, I keep my lipstick wearing to myself. I'm not, and also I'm not trying to pick people up generally. Yeah, Atheline wanted Atheline wanted us to do a quiz to find out what type of lesbian I am. So we did. As appropriate for our game, we are today. Let's speak on Super Lesbian Animal RPG, which we started yesterday, and it's really rather good. I wasn't expecting it to be bad. I'm not gonna be like, you know, Sean recommended a bad game, but it's better. You know, you have like a perception of what it might be like. It's better than I thought it was going to be. And the art and sound direction is perfectly on point. It's really rather good. I am. How is your day? I cannot complain at all. Look at these people. Bark and Suni are like liking and retweeting my silly automated tweets. Respect to them. You got a free day at home. Excellent. Yeah, I bet. Talo. Yeah. If you've got any plans, you're just chilling. God, it's so warm over here. It's ridiculous. Wolf, how you doing? I hope you're well, sir. Why do I say tism as opposed to autism? I don't know. I think, let me see if I can try and unpack it. I guess I don't like to draw attention to the fact that I'm on the spectrum. It's just a kind of a fact. And I guess with my diagnosis, I don't know, Af. There's a few things to discuss with that. One, I don't know how it works in other countries in the world. I don't know how it works in America. Maybe it differs by state. But over here in the UK, there's a few things to consider. One, getting a diagnosis for being on the autistic spectrum, there are different... Firstly, there are different, like 2 or 3 different diagnostic criteria. So, to my mind, you could test an individual through those 2 or 3 different criterias and get wildly different results. Now, there's no like proof of which one is superior to the other. They're just floating around out there in the medical community, and they just go, oh well, I like this one best, so we're going to use this one. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, wherever you are in this country, they just change what they want. They just pick which one they want to go for. Therefore, what I'm saying is, where I got tested, I could have been tested somewhere else in this country by similar healthcare professionals, and they would give me a wildly different result. Which, yeah, it's like, well, this is like a life-defining diagnosis here, which, it goes some way to you understanding yourself as an individual, and what the results shouldn't vary. It shouldn't be open. There's a second thing. It's open to interpretation. So I could have been diagnosed under the same criteria by different people and got a wildly different result. Okay, well, we got that for a start. Third thing, obviously, you've got to understand, obviously, if I'm, as an adult, going to get diagnosed, asking for testing on this, I've done my research. I've read all sorts of stuff, not least of which is the Atwood's Complete Guide to Asperger's Syndrome. Chonky old tome. Aside from all the research, I know who I am, and I know how I feel, and I've had, I can't remember how old I was when I got diagnosed. I was already at least in my late 20s. I've spent almost 30 years being different to everybody else, and not just the way that everybody's different to everybody else, but that specifically. So I feel I know what the problem is. I'm just there, kind of being like, can you give me confirmation? Can you explain this? Can I have an official thing so I can explain my weirdness to people? The sense that there was a psychologist, and then there was 2 clinicians who this is their area of expertise, apparently. I got the sense during the tests, not the psychologist, she was just doing typical psychological testing, asking of questions and stuff that ties into their results. But the clinicians, I got the sense they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They didn't actually know anything about what. not anything, but they were asking like yes, some of the specific questions are like and tests and stuff. Like one was, this would be interesting. One was they go, you've got like they give you like a blank grid and they give you a bunch of blocks, like square Lego blocks, and they just make a shape. Oh no, that's got to do anything. Just make a shape out of those. So let me see. Here we go. Let me just pull something up on I wonder if something on something on Google. Yeah, but not exactly. I think I'm going to have to pull up Paint here or something. I'm trying to explain it. It'd be more funny if I pull it up on Paint. Here we go. Here we go. I'll draw a little picture for you. This might be hilarious. So I'll catch up with y'all in chat in a minute once I've finished explaining this. Okay, cool. I don't know how to use Paint, by the way. It's kind of a problem. How'd you just copy something? Oh my god, I sort my life out. Come on, Iznib. I know if I try and explain it, I'll not do a good job of explaining it. Okay, this grid is not going to be on point, by the way. This is just to give you an example. I wish I could do this properly. Yeah, it'll illustrate my point. That's what matters. Oh, you know what? I swear to God. Here we go. This is what I need. I need to sort my life out. Here we go. Copy image. New. And save. Paste. Oh, here we go. This works. We've got a fill paint can here. This work? Yes, there we go. I don't know what that shading is. That's weird. I'm going to undo that. There we go. Let me show you this on the screen. There we go. Sort my life up. Let me catch you on chat. It's harder. You have the same feelings. Okay, so maybe it was a good experience for you then. It's harder. But here we go. Let me window capture. I guess we've got Paint. Okay. This is the first time I've ever showcased Microsoft Paint on the channel. Doesn't want to sharpen OBS? Because why would it? It actually doesn't. Wow. Is there a reason for that? Microsoft being like, no, you can't use OBS. The fuck? Okay. I swear to God, sometimes. Yeah, I might need to do a screen capture. Yeah. My God. I know that yeah, display capture maybe. Let's try and go window capture there. Oh man, now we got too much stuff here. We got to the point though. Here we go. So yeah, they gave you this blank grid like this, folks, right? And they gave us what? Let's see, 7 blocks. They gave you 7 blocks. They're just black blocks. I don't know what color they were, and they're just like, make a pattern. So I just looked at this. I don't know if I remember exactly. It was a 5x5 grid, but I was like, okay. I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you got that shape there. Now their response was, yeah, Italo. Now my reasoning for doing that was like, well, let's fill up the middle row, and then I'll just drop these symmetrically on either side. To which the clinician's response was very much kind of like, oh, yes, I guess it's a rocket ship. Obviously, all 3 of them are thinking big, giant penis. Now maybe I had dropped a giant penis there unconsciously because I was thinking about penis. I don't think I was at all. I was like, well, logically, I could have very much, sorry, if I'll bring that back a second. It was just a random occurrence that I didn't, for example, just go, back that up a second. Where's it? Undo. Okay. Let's get rid of those. I could have very well gone, like that. That's another logical configuration, right? Or I could have gone like that. Or I could have gone like that. Take these 7 blocks and just put them out. For whatever reason, my brain went the penis and testicle shaped route. That wasn't my intention. And her response of, I guess it's a rocket ship. Here's the thing. Here's what my fundamental point I'm trying to make. Somebody who is autistic on the spectrum, you have to be very clear with instructions what you are trying to get them to do. No point did she or any of the other 2 people there explain that I was supposed to be making a thing. They just said, take these blocks and put them down in a pattern. They didn't say, make something out of them. Because I wouldn't have, I would have thought about it. I would have given it some thought. You see what I'm saying? That is to me, that's a fundamental aspect of autism, which anyone who has done any kind of research or reading on it should know. You have to be precise with instruction, or there will be some misunderstanding there. This lady who is an expert on the autistic spectrum, apparently, didn't seem to understand this basic concept from my perception. So, and that's just like one. There's a few other things. That's just the most notable one. And I was like, this lady who's this expert who's supposed to be diagnosing me as whether I'm autistic or not doesn't seem to know what the fuck she's talking about. As somebody who most probably is autistic. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, after all the tests, the final result, Atheline, was drum roll. Is Iznib autistic or not? Their response is, yeah, I guess so. What? So that's why, I use the word tism rather than autism, because look, and if anyone who's got a diagnosis, or even if you haven't, because you just know, there's plenty of people I've met on Twitch. There's plenty of people who, even as a Twitch streamer, they kind of like market themselves. Oh yeah, I'm the autistic streamer, therefore pay more attention to me, or whatever. I don't like to go around and say, hey guys, by the way, I'm Iznib and I'm autistic, because I don't know if I am. I mean, I know that I am, but I've got no real, and I've got technically proof because I've been diagnosed. But my point is, what does that even mean? What does it even mean? I'm just me. I'm just Iznib. I'm just a unique individual. Of course, I'm not like anybody else. is that anything related to autism? I don't know. Is it? It might be. It might not be. I don't know. So I don't. So I just say tismy brain, because there are definite aspects of my reading of what that condition is that definitely apply to me, but I have no way to quantify if it actually is what it is it's supposed to be. I hope that makes some kind of sense. So that's sometimes where I say tism. I'm a bit tismy. I've got that tism brain. Because there's something there, but is it what it appears to be? Who the fuck knows? And I certainly don't want to be like marketing myself as I'm an autistic streamer, therefore you should feel bad for me and give me more attention or whatever. Because it's like, come on, in the scheme of things, it's not, for me, those aspects, there's definitely been times where it has been of a great negative impact on my life, but there's also been times there's been a great positive. If I didn't have that kind of brain working in that way, there's loads of stuff I would not have achieved or even attempted or done, grown as a person without it. So overall, in the balance, I consider it a positive. So I don't want to be like, hey, feel bad for me. No, it isn't a negative or a positive. But some people can. I've seen people who kind of use it as a crutch. Athlete. They'll be like, oh, I'm autistic, therefore I should get special dispensation in some fashion or another. But I agree with you, it isn't. It's just a difference. And it's difficult when people don't recognize that difference. You want to, you know, particularly people who aren't at all, and they don't understand. They have no conception that people like that exist, let alone the inner workings of their brain. But I guess my point is it isn't something that is endemic to me as an individual. It's like, to me, that whether I have autism or not, or how severe it is, or how it affects me, is no different to me than the color of my eyes. It's like, yeah, that's okay. What are we gonna? I'm gonna like, like, yo, yes, I'm Iznib, and these are the color of my eyes, and you know, so what? Or I'm tattooed. Like, oh, you know, there are streamers who are like, oh, I'm the tattooed streamer. Look at all my tats. And I'm like, is that the most interesting thing about you? It's not, yeah. Yes, yeah, and you're not wrong, Af. I just want to look to the future where we can get beyond all that. Yes, I agree. You should get some kind of dispensation if you live in a society that is harder for you to live in, right? But we should be trying to get to a society where it's not hard for people to live in, regardless of any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, when talk about rant, Mr. Wrong, how you doing? So I hope that all made sense. And also, you know, and the people who look at me, Af, and they go, "Oh, you can't be autistic because you're confident." It's like, what? That's nothing to do with anything. I'm also extremely introverted. Oh, you can't be an introvert. You're confident. No. You don't understand what these things are. It's fine. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and yeah. Thank you, Af. And you're right, but it doesn't feel comfortable to me. It's like a matter of fact. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, let me introduce myself. You know, the number of times we get raids in here, I never mention the fact. Because to me, it's not an important fact. It's just neither here nor there. It is a fact, but so what? You know, I've not got, you know, I've got like certain body measurements listed on my panels. Actually, I think on my panels I do mention it at some point, but does that make sense? So, and that's no shade at anybody who is, and it's more at the forefront of their presentation to the world. I understand why, but for me, it's not. It's not, you know, it's not something not from a not wanting to talk about it, not from a point of shame or misunderstanding. I just don't even like to mention it or think about it because that doesn't define me, who I am as an individual. Galaxius, how you doing? Thank you. Well, they're getting there. They're getting there. Yeah, you're autistic and you said it's okay. Thank you, Aphrodine. I know it is. I'm not saying it's not okay. But then also, you know, as you know, it's a spectrum, isn't it? And aside from being a spectrum of severity, there's a different, infinite axes of differences. Like something that may bother you greatly doesn't bother me at all, and vice versa. Or you struggle with, or you know. So on the severity scale, I know there are people, whether their struggles are or their inner workings of their brain are very similar to my own or very different from my own. I know that in terms of the severity axis, their autism is far more severe than mine. Those people should be getting help. Those people should be, you know, getting a light shone on them. I'm fine. I'm doing all right. I don't need any help because of it. You know, yes, growing up in this society with those kind of that difference was extra difficult. It would have been easier, not easy, but easier without that difference, without that mental difference. But here we are. Let's not worry about it. We've got shit to do. I hope that all made sense there. Sorry, my little rant there. But thank you for asking me about that, Af. Because I don't think about it at all nowadays. And here we go. Anyway, we catch up with you. Red Mage, Galaxius, how you doing? So yeah. No, the diagnosis. No, it wasn't indeterminate. This is the kind of how they explained it to me. If you think of it like a sliding scale, and everyone in society is on the sliding scale of say 0 to 100, and most people who you know, because everyone can have aspects about their mental state or personality that could be considered to be on the spectrum, and by the definition of the spectrum, everybody is on it. It's just whereabouts are you on it. Most people are at 0, and if we say that 100 is you can't get any more autistic, you can't interact with visual, you can't interact with audio, you can't dress yourself, you can't feed yourself, you just, you know, you're just a block, you know, just rolling around on the floor, you just can't, nothing, no, you know, that extreme. And every human being is on that 0 to 100 scale. Of course, to get a diagnosis of you are or you are not autistic, they have to have a cutoff point. There has to be a line in the sand somewhere. Most people who are not autistic maybe maybe they rank at 10. Maybe they've even got 20 points on this 100-point scale because they're whatever things, but it's not a thing. If you think of that hunt sliding scale, let's say the cutoff point for yay or nay is 70. I'm about a 71. So like, yes, Iznib, you are autistic, but also you're so close to not being, buddy. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? And they're like, wait, what? They're like, oh, you came here for answers? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, well, you've come to the wrong place, son. See you later. Have a nice life. And I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. Thank you. I'm sorry for wasting your time. That was very much my feeling there. Yeah, so, yeah, sorry for sound angry or bitter about it. I don't. I just, you know, life is hard for all of us, regardless. But an autistic spectrum aside, yes, feel free, Sean. Yeah, send me a link to that. I'll have a look. But Mr. Wrong, how are you doing? Oh yes, I'll take that, Atheline. It's not that I was uncomfortable saying it. It's just I feel there are people who it is a massive issue for them, and it defines their life. But in my own life, I fight against that for myself. I don't want it to define me. I don't want it to affect me. I just want to absorb it as part of my personal identity, rather than this thing that is telling me what to do or telling me who I am, or is some way defining who I am, or something I've got to fight against, struggle against. It's just me. I turned up here one day, and this is who I am, and let's just roll with it. Anyway, Mr. Wrong wants to stretch. All right, get on that. You'll see the pits, the hairy, vague, marginally sweaty pits, Mr. Wrong. You'll see that. James, how you doing, James? Yeah, Galaxis. I think it will get better in the future. Didn't even speak to you 9 years old, Af. Jeez. No, yes, indeed. Yeah, exactly. So on the spectrum, you may have probably far more advanced along it than I am. But that's the thing. Who can say? Who can say? Yeah, like using that example, if I was in America or anywhere else in the world, or different diagnostic criteria, they could be like, the result could have been, oh my God, Iznib, you're so incredibly autistic. How have you even managed up to this point? Here you go. You're disabled. Here's some free money. Go try and survive. Or it could have gone the other way, and they go, bro, what? You're not autistic at all. Get the fuck out of my office. You're wasting our time. That's the. It's not like a test where they just, oh, you yes or no, So that's. I guess that's why I don't like it. I don't like. It's like whatever. Anyway, Mr. Wrong is alive and well and wants to see my sweaty, hairy pits. Okay. Oh. Ooh. 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 Oh. Oh, Mr. Wrong. Ow. Ooh, stretching me out, baby. Oh shit. I was going my right tit. But yes, you're still gay, are you, James? Good. We found out earlier that I'm a butch lesbian. Were I a lesbian, I would be a butch lesbian. Surprise, surprise. Jeez. Oh, well, there you go. I'll take that compliment. Oh, you're a little stressed at the minute, buddy. What's going on? Yeah, how's your job going? You said it was very well. It was going pretty good, but doing those crazy hours, buddy. God, I think I'll pull something in my tits. Anyway. So yeah, it's Yeah, exactly, yes. And that's something else. Thank you for touching on that, Atheline. Getting diagnosed for being on the autistic spectrum is a lot easier the younger you are, apparently. Maybe not like a little baby, but like a small child. Whereas if you've got an adult, you've got all that. There's so much more to break down to get to because an adult has lived half a lifetime of building up walls and coping mechanisms and stuff that they've done unconsciously. They don't even know anything about because they don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to survive, like mentally and practically. That is kind of, and people do that for other reasons, don't they? People who've like suffered all sorts of trauma and stuff, or all sorts of other kind of issues, can come up with similar coping mechanisms. So they're like, okay, we've got to try and break you down, work out what's going on, try and get in there to the source of it, and then see if it is what it appears to be. It's complicated, so it makes it even more difficult. So yeah, I don't know. I guess fundamentally, Athaline, on some level, I don't actually know. So part of me feels I'm not comfortable wearing that badge, if that makes sense, because it takes away from people who clearly are. But you said it's okay, so it's okay. Yo, Squidge. Yeah, yes, Sean. We do not have drive-through banks. I thought it was like a joke. Yeah. So in the US, drive-through banks are an actual thing. You drive up to a counter in your car, and there's a bank teller right next to you, and you're like, "Hey, I'd like to withdraw some money, please." That definitely does not exist in the UK, and I didn't even know it was a thing until yesterday, and it is. I thought they were just cracking a joke. Yeah, Galaxius, exactly. Life is hard for all of us, regardless. And I don't want to be a person, and I don't want other people to be people like this, and I don't want society to be like this, where we are comparing and weighing up our struggles. Oh, well, yeah, you've struggled, but I've struggled more. My life's been harder than your life. It's like, can we all just agree that it's not been easy for any of us? And then we can just move forward as a team, as team humanity, and try and make it better for all of us, and not be like, oh, it's, comparing, oh, it was. No. Anyway. How you doing, Squidge? I hope you're well, my dear. Yes, Galaxius, yes. Yeah, life is hard enough already. I don't want to think like, oh, because of the way I am, that means my life was harder than somebody who isn't me. Well, that's, I don't know all the ins and outs of the rest of their life. So maybe in some tiny aspects, my life was harder, but maybe in a lot of other larger aspects, their life was much harder than mine, because, the spectrum of human experience on this planet, in 2023, is wildly different. Some people don't have a home. Some people don't have any money. I'm over here like, oh, I've got no money. I feed myself. I get to eat food every day. So I don't want to be like, oh, feel bad for me. Because there's people out there we should actually, it could be a lot worse. It could be, whoever you are, whatever your situation, it could be a lot worse. So I don't want to, does that make sense? Respect all people, and all people should be respected. And then we get some shit done. Imagine what we could do if we were working together. Imagine that. Can you imagine? All sorts of crazy, wild, wonderful things. But we can't, because we're always like, meh. And to be fair, anyway. Again, that's for the other channel. That's not for this channel. That's for the other channel. Comic-Con on Saturday. What? Where's that, Squidge? Done well. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I could just do looking Google drive-through bank, and just Thank you, Sean. I'll just over the place a minute. Yeah, there's a tube. So you go to a tube and speak into a little box and be like, "Give me money," and then money comes down the tube. What? What? It's wild. Wow. Yeah, yeah, the kind of the vacuum tube messaging system. I've definitely I've seen in like all sorts of like fiction and stuff. But obviously I was aware that it must have been used in reality at some point, but I just didn't know it was still in use, and it was for drive-in banks. Audrey James, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting there. How you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, I can hear in my mind the noise they make, Sean. What's the other channel, Galaxies? I was just about to say, we need to move forward as a species together rather than, getting jibing each other and arguing amongst ourselves and all this kind of division. And then the other channel is talking about how that is not an accident, if you know what I mean. See, did you just see my stream flash up there? They're watching us. I know you're watching us. You're like, oh, you want to think, oh, this just Iznib with 15 viewers, little channel. But I know that some of the stuff I mention on here, I know they're listening because they're always listening. Anyway, that's the other, Glitch in the Matrix. You see it, as I mentioned it, it's not fiction, folks. Anyway, you saw it, yeah, because it's real. Yes, the aliens are absolutely a very large part of it, Galaxius. But they are, in some ways, the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that is not what the emphasis of this channel is. And there's some of you here who are like, yes, Iznib, get into it. And then there's others like, what are you even talking about, you weirdo? Play some video games. And that's and the latter is what this channel is about and should be about for the foreseeable future. Keep your ears peeled. I don't have time to do a second channel, but yes, Galaxies. this it's not an accident. There's so much in 2023. There's more division politically than there ever has been. And I guess the center of that is the United States, but it affects the whole world. And my feeling is it's not an accident that is happening. Again, not a discussion for this channel. Going down to Brighton, Squidge. Nice. Yeah, I love Brighton. Such a lovely place. And in Southampton as well. Okay, well, Southampton's not as nice, but never mind. Fascinating, Sean. Yeah, nothing's real. Yeah, as we just proved. Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on with it, Mr. Wrong. It's wild. Yes, thank you, Sean. I had not forgotten. We need to stop in by Higgledy Piggledies because we need to go and see Beverly to ask if Claire can have the day off work. I bet Beverly's going to be fine about it. She seemed like very nice. She gave us chocolate cake for free. That's the kind of person Beverly is. And also, Sean, I want to stop in at the fortune tellers just to see if we can go in there and what that is about. Because when I clicked yesterday, Mel was just on her own and was like, oh, no, I've got to wait till we bring Alison here. And we had Alison. I tried again. She's like, no, we've got other stuff we need to go and do. I was like, okay, we're going to get there eventually. So I wonder if now is the time we can do that. And then, of course, we have to go and track down Jodie and take it from there. So I had remembered. Thank you for the reminder, though. Yeah, the government is all sorts of wildness, Mr. Wrong. It's so much I can say on it. Not I have all the answers. I don't. And you can argue I have none of the answers. But there's stuff to deny that there is stuff going on that is hidden from us, the general populace of humanity. I think is naive. There's and then if we agree that there is stuff going on that is purposely hidden from us, one, what is the extent of that shady hidden stuff, and two, how much of there is it? Because if they hide in one thing, they're gonna hide a second thing, and if they hide a second thing, they're gonna hide in everything. I think that's where we're at. But anyway, we're running to a mustache. Where's Metapod when we need him? But yes, I hope so. I hope so, Squidge, because obviously, that's yeah, you won't be able to see the sights. Yeah, I just yeah, there's not much to see in Southampton anyway. But yeah, Brighton's just like a nice town. the couple of times I've been there, I was like, damn. If you ever wanted to, like, you know, live by the ocean, it's got a chill kind of vibe in Brighton. I think it's got like a greater than average gay community in Brighton as well, which obviously gives it kind of a more kind of chill vibe as well. Yeah, I guess he's not. Well, I don't want to like message him, Sean, just be like, "Oi, come look at this stash." Although, if I did, I'm sure he would be like, "Oh my god." Exactly, Mr. Wrong, ghosts. Some people are like, "Oh, ghosts aren't real," and then you know, I'm over here like, everything is real. What are you talking about, Iznib? No, well, that's not. Again, not for this channel. But yeah, it's all connected. People think it's it's not in it. Yeah, no, it is. We'll see. Right, exactly, Galaxius. The government, they never hide anything or lie to their citizens. Ever. No, of course not. But yeah. Oh, we could go to Claire and Jodie's house as well. Sean, excellent. We'll make sure to do that because we've not been there yet. Ah, and of course, side quests on the message board. Perfect. You know how I feel about side quests. Yes. Squidge. Yeah, something about that. That's Brighton is the perfect town for it as well. It's like skeptics, Mr. Wrong. They say like, "Oh, give me physical proof." I said, "You want me to give you physical proof of a ghost? What are you talking about?" Well, it just cut his hand off. Like, here's the hand of a ghost. What? Did you get like a skin sample from a ghost? Like, well, you gotta film it on a video. And it's like, do you know about the electromagnetic spectrum? Do you know that human beings have 5, potentially more, 6 sensors, 5 or 6 sensors to perceive existence? And we scientifically know that those 5 or 6 sensors can only see like 2% of everything that exists. Oh, well, yeah, I don't want to think about that, guy. Nah, that stuff's not real. Science says it's real. Nah, but I can't see it, so it's not real, guy. Yeah, okay, anyway. Yeah, it's, you know, and on some level, there is the skeptic's view of, you know, it's kind of like healthy in a way, because you're not like existing in a place of, you know, just believing everything you're told. We should be skeptical of everything, but don't be so skeptic that that you know, just keep an open mind. That's what it calls for. People are some skeptics are actually very closed-minded, you know. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, guys, it's time for us to get on with Super Lesbian Animal RPG. But that tear's gone right through me, so I desperately need to run away. There we go. Let's get rid of my my paint penis. I wonder if I like unconsciously made it into a penis shape, because does that mean I'm obsessed with my own penis? Does that mean I was thinking about wanting some penis from somewhere else? I don't know. I honestly don't think it was. And it certainly wasn't a rocket ship. It was me systematically placing blocks in what I perceive to be the most sensible distribution. Make of it what you will. Anyway, I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. Bear with. Oh, so I was about to hit my hotkeys, which are turned off, so let me use my mouse. Oh, oh, that's better. Oh, hold on a second, guys. My mic has just died. I don't know if I assume you guys can hear me. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Unbelievable. Just changing scene has wrecked it. And now? No. Oh my god, I wanted to end the stream and start us back up, guys. There was a Windows update somewhat recently. And it seemed to be fine, but now it's just killed everything. Just changing scene. Incredible. What about that? No? God damn it. Guys, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this. I've completely lost my audio monitoring. But yeah, sorry, let me just address Mr. Wrong here. Yeah, that's like saying, you know, you drop a pin in a haystack. You know, hey buddy, I dropped a pin in this haystack, and then you like pull out a few bits of straw, and you like hay straw. I don't know what the difference between straw and hay is necessarily, but you're like, oh no, I didn't find it, so therefore it's not there. And so that's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, sorry about this. I think we'll need to kill the stream and troubleshoot here. I'm gonna try and just do a restart of my PC and see if that fixes things. Sorry about this. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. Damn it.